Hello, Flame community. This is Jeff Kyle with the Flame Learning Channel. The Flame 2027 release brings us a brand new way to mark up, draw on, and add notes to our images throughout the application in the form of the Annotations tool. In this video, we'll be covering where to find the Annotations tool, how it works, and how to use it on your next project. Annotations are built on top of markers, and in this release, markers have seen a handful of changes, so if you haven't already, be sure to check out our video dedicated to markers for this release. We can use annotations throughout the application, in the player, in the triptych player, in the full screen player, in conform, in the effects environment, and inside of batch. Whenever we add either type of marker, the lower section of the Add Marker window gives us a list of 6 different annotations to choose from: freeform, rectangle, circle, line, arrow, and text. When I choose one and hit Add, the marker is created and the Annotations Tools window pops up with my chosen annotation highlighted, letting me know I'm ready to create my annotation. Drawing directly in the viewport creates the annotation, and when I change the width, opacity, or color, the newly drawn annotation reflects those changes. The text annotation is the only one with an extra field. This text has a number of similarities to the subtitle tool, like the fact that the color, size, and opacity are applied across the whole text layer. We control the font of this text in the Preferences under User, Players and Monitoring, and Annotation Font. Changing this preference updates all live annotations across the whole project. When we have an annotation tool selected, we can deselect it, and with the Annotations tool window still up, we can select any of the previously added annotations in the viewport and either adjust their position or modify any of their parameters. Switching from one annotation tool to another is made quite simple thanks to the Annotation Tools window, helping us create complex markups in seconds. This new pencil button in between the Scopes panel and the Metadata Overlay button is the Annotations button, where we can toggle the visibility of the annotations on and off, as well as use the drop-down to quickly add any type of annotation, enter Edit Mode to bring up the Annotations tool window, or clear the annotations on the current marker or all markers at the current frame. Note that if there isn't already a marker on the current frame when we create an annotation this way, a marker is created for us using the currently set marker settings and color selection. We can use the F12 keyboard shortcut to toggle the annotations display on and off, and we can use the keyboard shortcut Shift F12 to bring up the Annotations tool window to edit or add annotations. And the last way to add annotations is when we select an existing marker on the far right side of the timeline ribbon. If we have enough screen real estate, we can use this Add button to bring up the Annotations tools window or edit or clear any existing annotations if we have any. If you haven't noticed already, when a marker has annotations, it's indicated by this notch at the top of the marker icon, so we can always see at a glance which markers have annotations. Heading back to the Preferences, under User, Players and Monitoring, under the Video Preview Overlay section, we have the option to show the annotations overlay on our video preview device, if we'd like to display annotations on a broadcast monitor, for example. If we head to the Explorer, we can see the farthest right tab is the Annotations tab, which lists all of the annotations visible on the current frame, and we can adjust any of these values and watch them update in the viewport without having to pull up the Annotations Tools window. As we've seen so far, and as we can see from this list, a single marker can hold many annotations, and this Annotations tab here makes it easier to manage the annotations we've created. We can multi-select them and use the contextual menu to delete them, but we can also use the Delete keyboard shortcut here in the Annotations tab as well as in the viewport itself. We have the option of filtering down our list of annotations with some familiar filtering controls where we can filter by annotation type, annotation color, or by text. We can jump our playhead from annotation to annotation with the keyboard shortcut Meta or Command Alt / to go to the next annotation, or Control Meta or Command Alt / to go to the previous annotation. We can also hold down on this Go to Next or Go to Previous button to jump to the next or previous annotation without using keyboard shortcuts. In terms of getting annotations outside of the application, they can be burned into the image similar to metadata overlay or subtitles. We can do so when we grab a reference with the Ctrl-G keyboard shortcut, when we take a snapshot, or when we export by selecting the Include Annotations button. When it comes to batch, as we covered in the previous video on markers, we can send segment markers into batch via a sequence publish or the create batch group workflow, and those markers and annotations come in on the clip level on the published content. We can always add our own annotations to any node the same way we've seen so far in this video, and they'll appear on that node when we toggle on annotations with the F12 keyboard shortcut. As a note, the settings in this Options dropdown under Markers and Context are only relevant to markers in the time bar and not annotations, so we won't see any annotations on our current clip node with this setting on. But we will see annotations if we explicitly set a node that has annotations as a context. After setting that context, viewing the context anywhere inside of Batch shows us the relevant annotations. A feature like this takes the familiar concept of creating shot notes and completely streamlines the workflow, giving us incredible speed in an easy-to-use new tool. If you like these videos and you're finding them helpful, please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel and click the bell to stay notified about new content. Feel free to comment any questions or suggestions below. Until next time, thanks a bunch for watching.